Hi everyone. I just wanted to jump in here and just share some words on life, I guess, and struggles, and just how we can get in these habit loops and cycles and just life, societal symptoms. And I just really wanted to talk to middle-aged people as well as youth because these guys are going to come up against, you guys are going to come up against these things soon enough, and I would love to shed a bit of light on and insight on some different ways, to steer and to navigate. Sometimes we got to touch that hot plate, mate. I'm surprised I have fingertips, little thumbprints, and but anyways, and I just wanted to talk a little bit, and again, to middle-aged women, people, but middle-aged women especially, because I'm in this beautiful magical place right now, and it's so amazing. It's a little bit north of Byron Bay, and again, just wanting to talk a little bit about habit looping and things like that, and addictions and attachments, and not in a heavy way, but in a liberating way, that to say sometimes the best thing you can do, because especially as us women, we think that to leave our household for a portion of time and things like that, it's gonna rock the household, what will happen, or what will our partner think, what would our kids think, well, I don't have children, but it's still like a ripple effect. And even this experience for me, to come to this place called the Krishna Village, it's so stunning. But I came here because I want to help people. Though firstly, I knew I needed to help myself, and I needed to take myself out of environment to do so. And so like, to come to this place, it was for a 1-month stay to volunteer. You get accommodation, breakfast, lunch and dinner. It's all vegetarian. Yoga classes and wellness classes and things like that. And I was just like, that's a bit of me. And I just really felt like I needed to do this. It was 3 weeks yesterday since I got here. So it was 3 weeks on Sunday since I'd sort of smoked and things and but again, it's not that those things are necessarily bad. Well, they are bad because it still is self-harming, and it still helps keep us small, because it suppresses, basically, and it keeps us in this life and these old identities. It's just 333, these old ways, these old coping mechanisms and tools, guys. Like, that's all they are. They're just tools, but we can adopt different tools. And like I'm saying, I felt that a month was a long time to ask for, not ask, but to even sort of say to my partner, I feel as though I need to do this. And but I can say 3 weeks in has been so amazing. And don't get me wrong, there's still been some highs and lows, and it's been interesting taking yourself out of environment without having those things around, or even having people that still semi-vibrate on that level. It just makes it easier. Like, those things still bubble up sometimes, and interestingly, the cool thing about that as well is because I got to witness, because when you're sort of in that ego thing and the art of justification, and you're sort of running up and down the sidelines and, doing these ones a little bit to thyself, it's just 444. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. That's Mount Warning. Where is it? I don't know if I can see it. I can see it. It's over there. It's over there, but that's Mount Warning, and even that is stunning if you got to see it. But there's a peak in the distance there, and this place, guys. But hang on, I'm just hoping that I didn't lose my train of thought just then. Something else I'm making peace with middle age. but again, you know, just perfectly imperfect. And yeah, just being okay with the F ups and things like that. But yeah, so noticing when these things come up. And 9 times out of 10, it was when, like, I felt it triggered something like on an abandonment level, or a rejection level, or things like that. And you know, again, when you come to these places and things like that, it's out of the comfort zone, but it's still beautiful, you know, in its own right. But you're not going to be comfortable at every given point, and that's life, you know, that is okay. And sometimes I think that's half of it, you know. We think that we have to keep keeping on, and yeah, sort of sucking it up and grinning and bearing it and suppressing and doing what we can to get by. Something, a little bug, doing what we can to get by. And yeah, and sort of noticing when you sort of, yeah, well, I was noticing when I was sort of ducking outside to have a cigarette, or ducking upstairs to, you know, just, yeah, like put myself in a little bubble. And though again, like, I want to help people, and I want to help lift that veil for all of us, to give permission for all of our somethings. And yeah, you know, again, just for the perfectly imperfect, because we've all got our stuff, and we've all got our wounds, we've all got different traumas, you know, big, little, you know, big, you know, capital, whatever. It still hits a similar space inside, and we still reach for certain things, whether it be your phone, whether it be the pantry, whether it be a packet of cigarettes, whether it be Mary Jane, whether it be, you know, bottle of glass of whatever. You know, people grab these different things as these little buffers and little band-aids and little semi-solutions. But I just want to share. And my mirror ended up getting closer and closer and closer. And that was where I really felt that I needed to do something to make a change, because classic case, if we want to make a difference in this world and help change this world, then we've got to change ourselves first. And guys, I know, anybody who knows me knows, I ran up and down that sideline for so many years and still lived a pretty holistic lifestyle, still was, you know, being beautiful and ticking boxes. And I know, you know, God sort of sees and witnesses the kindness and things like that. But inside, there was a part of me that was really frustrated, really, yeah, just feeling heavy, you know. And then it's the classic case, then we gravitate back to these things that, to sort of self-soothe, is the same things that are sort of giving us grief as well, like that is sort of helping us sort of justify and suppress. And yeah, so but yeah, anyways, I just wanted to share a little bit of this journey. I've shared little snippets along the way, but more than anything, I just want to say that ask for what you need, because you just might get it. And sometimes it's not even about asking, it's about letting our loved ones know what we need and communicating and sharing, you know, like where it's at. And yeah, and prevention is better than cure. So yeah, there's so many different things out there that we can do to sort of help us heal and things like that, and it's all valid, and all those beautiful modalities and things like that. But sometimes really what we need is to listen to ourselves and literally take ourselves out of the environment, take ourselves out of the loop. Because, you know, when you're witnessing it day by day, that was like, and I think with awareness it's worse, you know, because it's like a double-edged sword. And that was what I was thinking every day. And I was literally thinking, I'm doing my freaking head in here, like I've got to go and make it, I've got to, yeah, just not drive a wedge in, but I've got to do something different. And I just want to say this and just give a shout out to everyone. If you need to tap out of your life for a little while, then do it. Especially if you want to make a change, and just do what you got to do. The rules are, there are no rules. We make them up as we go along, and the right people will understand. So anyways, I just wanted to lovingly share this. There'll be more to be shared, but I just want to share these little snippets as I go. And yeah, and even here, like with this beautiful communal living and these guys, you know, it's so cool. It's so cool. But again, like sometimes the most, you know, you can have amazing connections, but then sometimes you just got to pull back and recharge, replenish, you know, preserve thy energy, and then come back in. And it's all like the ebb and the flow. And when we start to get in tune with that, when we started to get in tune with ourselves and our nervous systems and regulate and honor, then everything just, you know, eases, even on the hard days. And I call my hard days now learning and growing days. I don't see them as bad days. I don't see it as the world's falling apart, my world's falling apart and I'm failing. I don't see it like that anymore. It's just double one, double one. I see them as growing and learning days, and I'm just about to have a breakthrough. And do, you know, and we all can, and we all do. So just know that too. Like on the times when it's really, you know, really intense and really shitty, that too will pass, and we can take our power back, you know, at any given point. You know, maybe not on the day you need to do an afternoon in the fetal position, do that, you know, sit cross-legged on the grass and stare, you know, stare at the sky, do that. Or just be, you know, grass angels, or, you know, whatever you got to do. But the rules are, there are no rules, you know, just do you and trust yourself of what you need, and yeah, and go for it. All right, happy healing, sending love, more to be shared.